Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Crushing Land podcast series presented by The Land Method. I'm Jonathan. I'm your host. I'm happy to be here with you today. Super excited to join you just for a few minutes, have a conversation about a couple different things that are going on in the world of land, especially with what's going on right now in the world that we're living in this economy, everything like that. So last week, this podcast here was hosted by my business partner, Genus. We both are active real estate land investors in today's economy, and that's what we're going to talk to you about a little bit here. What's going on right now? So sometimes you're going to hear from me, sometimes you're going to hear from him, sometimes you're going to hear from us with our guest speaker, sometimes it'll be both of us. So we're going to have different formats all the time here. And the reason is we're trying to bring you guys some great content coming from different perspectives, not just mine, but also his, and also with different people that we work with in the business community, in what we do for a living each and every day. And so, yes, while we are here and we have an education business, but we're bringing you this information, all of that. First and foremost, we are real estate investors. We do land deals. That's the first thing that we do. And so we're doing them right now. Today is November 24th, 2021. And right now we're doing deals and we're talking about what's happening right now on this date. Why does that matter? Well, if you listen to old information, if you listen to people that have been teaching this for years and things like that, they still kind of highlight things that existed 2, 3, 5, 10 years ago. I was listening to one speaker the other day that's in land, and they were talking about these things. And one of the things they were talking about was how great their response rate was. Our students are getting 10 and 12 and 14 and 15% response rates. Did we used to get those? Absolutely, we did. 5 years ago, it wasn't uncommon to mail, 1,000 letters each and every week. And from that, we would be getting, 120, 150 people that we needed to make offers on their property. So that was very common. Does that exist in today's hot market? Absolutely not, right? Well, nobody's getting those type of responses. It just doesn't exist unless you're working in an area that you shouldn't. If you're working in a county that you shouldn't be investing in, then yeah, you might get a response rate like that, but you're not going to be able to sell anything. So it really doesn't matter anyway. So now even us at the levels that we're at, we're still only averaging 3 and 4% consistently as a response rate. So, when we're mailing 1,000 pieces, now we're only making 30, 40 offers a week on pieces of property. That's fine. That's what exists in today's market. You just roll with that. So you have to understand what's going on in the current world. The other thing that I've seen that I really don't like is I see people tout like success stories about how somebody's done this amazing deal and how, they bought a property for $50,000 and they sold it for $300,000. But the problem is that deal was 3 years ago, 5 years ago, and they're still using it as what exists right now. That's not what exists right now. Did we used to do deals like that? Absolutely. And do we still do some deals like that? We do. I mean, to be honest, we do, but not many, a couple a year where we're doing high numbers where we're able to get something that somebody's willing to let go of a property that's worth more. And again, that's the kind of high numbers, but are willing to let go of a property that's worth more at a very discounted rate. So even a $50,000 piece of property, we used to buy those regularly for $10,000. That doesn't exist in today's market, right? So in today's market, you're not buying $50,000 pieces of property for $10,000 regularly. Now, are we doing some? Yes, like I said, a few a year. But in the reality is most of these $50,000 pieces of property are being bought at, $20,000, $25,000, $30,000. But in today's market, that's okay because you're able to sell them very quickly up near market value. So you should be excited about that. You sit there and you're like, well, people are touting these things and they're giving these numbers. They're giving you old information. Current information is not that. Current information is you buy a property for $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 and you sell it for $50,000 rather quickly. And again, we're talking about today's market, right? I'm going to show you right now. Here's some closing statements that are going out today. 2 of them, 2 closing statements for 2 pieces of property. These are properties that we are selling. One of them is a $22,000 purchase price. I'm sorry, not purchase price, a sale price. The other one is a $13,000 sale price. The one that's $22,000, it's all profit because we actually did a package deal on those and have already made our money back on everything. And then on the one that's a $13,000 sale price, we bought that for about $3,000. So we're making $10,000 on it. Those are good deals. That's what's happening in today's market. These are the type of deals that are out there. We've got other ones that are like that. I'm buying one right now for $3,000 and I'm going to be marketing for $16,000. So yes, you can still get some great deals on these lower end properties. That is the key there. And by lower end, I'm talking about like a $10,000, $10,000 profit margin. But when you start getting up into the higher end ones, we had one that we did a few years ago that we bought for $40,000 and sold for $150,000 rather quickly, just a few days later. That's probably not going to happen in today's market, right? But it's okay. You could still buy it for $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 and be able to move it for that top of the market price, which is fine. Again, you're walking away with a $50,000, $60,000 paycheck in those cases. So I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit, like I said, about what is happening right now, what the circumstances are of today's market. Don't believe all of the hype that's out there because it doesn't exist. Is it going to exist again? Yes, it will. When the market shifts, at some point, the market's going to shift. But you know what happens then? Your response rate goes up. Your deals go up. The prices that you can get properties that go up, but the ability to sell them for top dollar, the ability to sell them quickly goes down. So there's always a give and take here with investing. And that's why we're going to talk a little bit about why it makes sense to invest right now still. Yes, it's a hotter market. And yes, sometimes people say, don't invest in hotter markets. Well, we're still getting properties at discounts. And with the techniques that we recommend to people, what we teach people, you're still not going to get stuck with a property. It's not possible, right, with what we do. So that being the case, it still makes sense because you can still sell them at a higher price. You can still move properties. It's easy to do that right now. It's a good time to invest because there's still deals to be done. You just have to be realistic about it. If you think that you're going to go out there and you're going to mail 10,000 pieces and you're going to get, 1,000 pieces, you're going to mail 1,000 pieces and you're going to get 150 phone calls and you're going to do 30 deals, that's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen now. That's fine though. You could still do relatively small mailing, 1,000 pieces, like I said. You can get 40 phone calls. You can get a couple of deals. You can make, $10,000, $8,000, whatever it is off of each of those deals, and you move on to something else. That's what exists in today's market. So it is still a good time. And last week, Gina spoke to you guys about, the resources that we offer, the 3 resources that we will give to you guys, the letter that we use. That's what we're using right now. So that's what is working today, November 2021, going into December, going into 2022. These are the things that we are using right now that actually work, that actually pull deals in and things like that. So there's still deals to be done. It is still a good time to invest. We're telling you that right now. It's a good time to invest, but you just need to be realistic. Don't buy everything that's out there, and definitely don't buy into old information. When people are out there telling you like, this person just did this, okay, they just did. What's just did? And then you see the closing statement and it's 5 years old. That's not just did. It's a great deal. And you know what? We have home run deals. We have students that have home run deals. I'm not saying those don't exist, but we want to talk about what's current, what's happening right now. And so let's focus on the smaller deals. Let's focus on those singles that just keep getting one after the other, after the other, after the other. I just showed you 2 closing statements that are netting $30,000 plus in profit, or $30,000 in profit, roughly, a little more than that, actually, 30,000 plus, right? So $30,000 plus in profits in 2 deals. That's great, right? That's what exists right now. So that's what we want to focus on with you guys and help you achieve that. So again, if you listened to Gina's last week, he talked about those resources. If you missed that, or if you didn't get a chance to take part of those or receive those, reach out to us and get those from us. If you're watching on Facebook, all you need to do is leave a comment. We can email those to you. We'll email you those resources in that letter. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening to the podcast, just reach out to us by email, thelandmethod@gmail.com. Again, thelandmethod@gmail.com, and we will send those over to you. And again, This is what's happening right now in today's market. So why are we focusing on that? Why do I keep saying that over and over and over again? Two reasons. And then we're kind of like ending with this so that everybody understands. One, again, don't believe old information, because you're going to get discouraged if you do that. And we don't want people getting discouraged. They're going to sit there and you're going to think that if I mail a bunch of letters, I'm going to get a great response rate and I'm going to get all these home run deals. And it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Might you get some? Yes. It's possible. You could get a home run here or there, things like that. It still exists, right? But in reality, it's not going to happen all that regularly in today's market. You're not going to have that insane response rate. You're not going to have all those things that existed a few years ago. So we don't want you to get discouraged by that and hear that. And you go and mail a couple thousand pieces and you're not getting what you expected, and then you give up. We don't want you to give up. So that leads us to the second part about this market that we're in. It's still good. It's a great market to invest in. Why is it a great market? Because it's easy to sell at top dollar, but you just got to accept what you're going to have to do to get to top dollar, right? You have to understand that to get to top dollar, to sell for $50,000, I can't buy for 10. Are you going to buy some for 10 if you mail a ton of letters? Yes, maybe a couple a year. Like I said, you buy for 10, you sell for 50. Great deals. But in reality, you're going to do a lot more deals where you're buying at $20, $25, $30,000, but you can still sell at $50,000 very easily. And again, you don't need your own money to do these. You can use transactional funding. We had Dave on as our guest speaker in Crushing Land before. You can go listen to that. You can watch it on our YouTube channel. You can hear all about that, how you can use other people's money, pay them a small amount, and still be able to do these deals. So if you need that information, I encourage you to go watch that episode on our YouTube channel. So again, everybody, this is the reality of right now, end of 2021, heading into 2022, and why it's still a great time to invest. So again, we thank you all for joining us today. We hope you're having a great end of the year here. Let's get into 2022 rolling and make 2022 your best year ever. So again, thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next week.